What's going on, family? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. We're going to get right into this video about dismissive avoidant attachment and the differences between friendship and romantic relationships. But before I do that, again, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Dismissible Me, where I speak only about dismissive avoidant attachment from the perspective of somebody who has had a severe dismissive avoidant attachment style. So please join the journey, like, share, subscribe, find me on Instagram. All of my links are down below in the description box. Let me know where you are watching from, drop your attachment style, and any questions you'd like to see me respond to in the comment section or in a future video, drop in the comment section as well. Again, dismissive avoidant attachment and the differences between friendship and romantic relationships. This is a question I've actually gotten a couple of times, and somebody dropped it recently. I'll have to respond to their comment later after I recorded this. The number one thing is the attachment pressure or the lack thereof. So in romantic relationships, there's pressure to form a deeper attachment, which can be very uncomfortable. It can sometimes feel like somebody is rushing. It could rushing me to connect with them or rushing me to commit, which I'll even speak about further in this video. But the pressure to have that deeper attachment, that pressure to know that there's someone who's putting that's being very vulnerable with me, because just other people putting their feelings out there also makes me uncomfortable. But also there's this expectation now, or there will be in the very near future, for me to also be emotionally vulnerable and open and transparent with another person. Whereas in friendship, there is no expectation to attach or for deep attachment. Friendships, to me, when I compare them to romantic relationships in general, everything just seems so much more relaxed. Like, because there are no expectations, because this person is not really dependent on me, it's a lot easier for me to connect with this person and to want to do things with them. And what else? There's no expectation at any point in time for me to be emotionally vulnerable before I'm ready to, and that's what makes my friendships a lot more relaxed or low pressure, no pressure in comparison to romantic relationships. The second thing, or the second what should I call this, subject that there's major differences between the romantic relationship versus friendship is emotional disclosure. So again, getting into feelings. In romantic relationships, there's an expectation for emotional disclosure. There's an expectation for the other person and or me to share my personal feelings, to share my thoughts, to let somebody know where I am mentally, emotionally, to be checking in with someone, and not just checking in as far as me checking in with them, but also asking them how they feel, what they have going on. So I mean, that I'm in a romantic situation, I know that there is an expectation, and what do I want to call it? It is a normal expectation for somebody to expect me to be emotionally vulnerable with them and expect them to be emotionally vulnerable with me. That's not a wild request. In my friendships, though, I can keep a conversation surface level and it doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, it doesn't have to be emotional. There's no expectation for me to take things to a deeper level. And even in my friendships, there's certain boundaries that friends know, and they just let you leave it where it is. And if you want to talk about it, you could talk about it, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. You know what I mean? Again, friendships to me are just a lot more relaxed. And I feel like this is kind of what plays into the not wanting to put a title on things for me, and being in type of situations where everything is great until you put a title on it, because everything is just so relaxed and it feels organic and natural. Like, the person that's made the biggest impact on me romantically was a relationship that started off very organic. What's with the music, Young Jeezy? Where things started very organically. There wasn't any rush to do anything. This person allowed me to be me. I allowed this person to be them. And we did a lot of meeting in the middle. And I've spoken about that in a previous video, my video in the purple, what is it? A dismissive avoidant in love. I refer to that person as Purple Rain or Frankie Lyman, something like that. I'll have to link it down below. I'll probably forget, but I'll try to remember to link it down below. But that, yeah, the lack of having to emotionally disclose a lot of things or be transparent or dive deep into my emotional thoughts and feelings. I can keep things very surface level. And if I want to go deeper with my friends, I can. And then I can feel like I'm in a safe space because they've given me the time and the space to feel comfortable. The third thing on my list of things where there's major differences is the time investment. In romantic relationships, it is expected that I spend or invest a certain amount of time with someone. So especially when we're talking about living close, so many days a week, so many hours, spending a lot of time, things like that. And it can tend to feel, especially at my absolute worst, very intrusive. Like, oh my gosh, here's this person coming in, and it's not like I didn't want this person there, but it's just like, it seemed like it was so much so fast. Like, dang, you want all this time. I used to have all this free time to do what I wanted, or to be alone, or to experience things by myself, or be doing certain hobbies and things. And now I feel like I don't have that, or I'm losing that. So there's that. Whereas with friends, they're flexible. If I need to not hang out with my friend for a few months or for a few weeks, or if I need to cancel plans, none of my friends ever make a big deal about that. The few friends that I have, because my circle is like a dot, okay? My friends that are still around, I've had them for years, they're coup de la. They don't bother me about much, you know what I mean? If I need to cancel plans, they know that it's either very important or I'm going through something and I need the space. And so it's that flexibility. Again, everything with friendship is low pressure, no pressure. Everything's great. It's a vacation. When I speak to my friends, whether it's my absolute best friend, my boy D, or my girl Lace, giving them names, there's never any weirdness, because I go months and weeks without talking to these people, but we just pick up right where we left off. And I feel like it doesn't matter your attachment style, that's just kind of friendship. But that's like that flexibility, and there not being any need to commit, there not being any expectation that I have to check in with these people. We just understand each other. Like there's like this unspoken language because we know each other, we've been through certain things, we've had experiences, that we don't have to do that. And that's the difference. Sometimes I feel like friendship gives me the time and the space to really get comfortable with someone. Like there's nothing that I don't feel like I can tell my best friend. Like there are things that I like keep to myself just because I feel like I'm just secretive. I mean, look at what we're doing here. Look at what we're doing here, right? So like there's that, but there's nothing that I feel like if I tell this person, she's going to reject me, or she's going to judge me, or it's going to be a problem in any type of way. Like I would not have this person around me at all. So, but I've been friends with her for a decade. So I've had a decade to go through certain experiences with her and her with me, and us share certain things where I feel totally comfortable being very transparent with this one person. Period, point blank. And that's the difference between, I feel like in relationships, people expect you to be moving at such a fast pace or on their time, and their time isn't necessarily my time or my pace. So that's the difference as far as the time investment. And then we get into like dependence, right? So romantic, the person may expect mutual dependence and support, which can feel suffocating because it's like, what were you doing before me? Especially at my absolute worst. I was like, what are you doing before? What do you need me for? But like, that's the whole reason that people get into relationships, for that support, for that companionship. Had to figure that out slowly. So there is that expectation there where, again, with friends, my friends, one thing I'll say about my friends, all my friends are tough and they tend to thug it out. And so like we understand it's been the struggle that has brought us all together. And now that we've been through certain struggles together and heard it from each other and seen certain things, we are now ready to jump into each other's struggles, but not before. So with the friendship, again, it's the flexibility. They're more independent. They allow me space. I allow them space. Now, if you ask me something as a friend, I will absolutely help you, right? Like, don't ask me to get in a fight with you, because that's your thing, baby. Nothing crazy like that. But if you need help with other things, moving, you need help moving, I'm your girl. If you're sick and you need food, I'm your girl. If you need help getting work done, I'm your girl. If you need help finding a job, I'm your girl. Right? I'm all of those things. It's the romantic relationship where somebody is needing me, where I'm having to sign up maybe faster than I'm ready to, or before I'm ready to emotionally, mentally, that makes it feel very high pressure, raises my anxiety, and can be very like triggering, suffocating, feeling like way too much. You know, and I've done a whole series and I have a whole playlist that's dedicated, to triggers and things. So if you want to know about those things in detail, you can check that out in the playlist section or the tab. My friendships just allow me autonomy. Like I've never, in any friendship that didn't allow that, as I've had one friend, I've had actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I've had a couple, but the most recent codependent friendship, it didn't last very long. The minute they started showing those codependent tendencies, I immediately shut that down. I immediately set up those boundaries and they crashed and burned. And I feel really bad because I really enjoyed that person. We had a lot of great times together. And they were a Leo, shout out to you, but it was unhealthy. And so we had to keep it moving. The minute they tried to lean on me like I was a romantic partner, and not that this person was romantically attracted to me, because I don't think that it was that, because it was because it was a woman. I guess I'll be clear about that. It was more that this person lacked the boundaries, that they didn't know the difference between what was what and friendship and romance, because they just needed so much that the lines were very much blurred. And I don't do 50 Shades of Grey. You may think that, but it's really not like that over here. I'm very black and white. Yes, no. No in between. If we're not lovers, we're not doing lovers type stuff. If we're not lovers and we're friends, you can't lean on me like a lover. Why are you laying up with this person and they can't take you to the airport? That's crazy. That's crazy. So, the dependence factor, the differences between that. Friends allow me autonomy. They give me the space to have the space to know whether I can trust them to depend on them instead of having to force a dependence. Whereas romantic situations, it's expected to mutually support another person. Then there's physical closeness. This should be so much earlier in the video, but if you're still here, drop a heart emoji if you're still here for the physical closeness, especially my avoidant family and my physical touch people. Physical touch folks, physical closeness, very different in friendship and romantic relationships. Oh, let me move my long legs, excuse me. My legs falling asleep. Physical closeness, affection, right? Physical touch. That's important. It is a key thing. It is expected. It is a normal thing. That can feel very suffocating. It can be triggering. It can be a whole lot. I'm straight up laughing at myself at this point. It can be a whole lot. And people do expect you to move at their pace. And some people are only expecting you to move at their pace and they're ready to keep it moving. And I will say, regardless of attachment stuff, they can't wait for you. They're probably not for you. And because I'm one to keep it moving. And you definitely know I'm not going to chase you. You must be freaking crazy. So, physical closeness, it is expected in romantic relationships that you're holding hands, that you're being physically close, that you're being affectionate with each other, that you're doing all the romantic things. In friendship, there are plenty of friendships where they know and understand I'm weird about physical touch, and it's almost like a laughing thing between us, like a joking thing, and we never physically touch each other. If we're not playing sports, which at my age, I don't have any business, it could be dangerous. So, at my age and where we're at right now, I don't have to be physically close with my friends. Now, my close friends at this point, I do give them a hug when I see them, when I first greet them. I do give them a hug when I leave, when I depart and things like that. But again, that's earned closeness. I only do that with a very select few people. And again, my circle is a dot. It is not expected. My friends that I hug, the 3 people that I'm talking about, I've known them for years. I trust these people enough to allow them to hug me, because I don't expect them to put a knife in my back while they're back there, family. That's exactly why. Give me some time. Give me some space to observe you. You observe me. Let me see you go through some things. Let me see how you handle some things with me, some adversity. And then you get all of me. Then I get to open up. It's not that I won't open up, because nobody would say that. It's that it took time. If you were trying to rush me, you were miserable. If you just let me be, everything was coup de la. Everything was great. And that's the honest truth. I believe that. So that's the difference between physical closeness with romantic relationships. It is expected. Friendship, it doesn't involve physical touch. It's not expected. It's not even necessary, quite frankly. Getting into the last thing, commitment anxiety. There's none with friendship. There's no need to commit. This isn't the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's no friendship contract. Excuse me, because that would have me quitting the season, right? Giving Andy my 2 weeks notice. There's none of that. My friends just allow, and in general, they just allow you to be you, and you naturally decide whether or not to spend more time with this person or to share more with this person or to move in a different direction. In romantic relationships, there is a need to commit. Somebody's going to have deeper feelings, or they're serious about moving forward and having something more serious, starting a family, getting married, doing the things, bringing somebody home to meet their family, right? So there are certain things that you need to do for that to move forward, which sometimes requires having a title. Again, the timing and investing a lot of time. That need for someone to be committed to, or that conversation talk, can be very triggering, very suffocating, very scary, not very demure, not very mindful, okay? Very destructive. With friendship, there's none of that. There's no need for somebody to say, okay, in 90 days, we're going to be friends. I don't feel that's never happened. My friends became my friends over time. And I can tell you that there are significant moments with each one of those people where I knew this was my person, that this was somebody I had a deeper connection with on a friendship level, and that I was safe with this person. And I could tell you when that moment was, but clearly before that moment, we were friends. Clearly before that moment, we were closer than just acquaintances or sharing surface level information. So there's that. Whereas with romantic relationships, again, there's this pressure for things to be to a certain point, for there to be a title on things, for it to be exclusive, for you to start to be vulnerable and tell this person how you're feeling and let them know and hold my hand and give me hugs and why aren't we kissing? And it just becomes a whole lot. Where again, with friendship, I can keep my emotional distance, I can keep my physical distance, and I can allow myself over time to get more and more comfortable with you, get more and more comfortable with this person, and allow me to open up and feel safe with this person on my time, at my speed. Because people that didn't like that, trust me, they just move on. Because people that need those emotional vampires, those real narcissistic, codependent people, they don't like it over here. They really don't. They don't stay long. I don't have anything, because I really don't have anything to give them. And that's why I cherish my friendships so much. I see people and they go, why do they hold their friends in such high esteem? My friends have earned a special place close to me. My friends have earned my trust, which is very, 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 obviously, as you've seen from these million videos I done dropped in a few months, 6 months, 5 months. It's very hard to earn my trust. These people have done that because there's been a lot of time there. None of my friends have become my friends in 6 months, in a year, in 3 weeks. It was years. Things took place. So that's the rundown on all the differences between, or important differences between, romantic relationships and friendships. If you would like me to clarify anything else, if you would like to add anything else, let me know down below in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know it resonated with you. Let me know where you are watching from. Check the playlist, especially the Trigger series. And family, thank you so much for watching, and I will be tapping in with you very soon. Keep it real, family.